This is the DJ Henderson podcast. Today's guest is a Fayetteville, North Carolina native who moved to Tampa in 2014 and finished his high school football career at Wharton High School. After being a standout player, he decided to continue his career at the University of South Florida, where he is currently. Tre Dukes, welcome to the show, bro.
What's good, bro? What's up? Appreciate you.
Thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
Tell everybody where you're from and how you grew up.
Originally I was born in Pensacola, Florida. I stayed there for a little bit with my mom and stuff. Then my dad moved with my dad. That's when we moved to North Carolina. I stayed in North Carolina from like second grade all the way up to 10th grade. So majority of my life I've been in North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Then after like at the end of my 10th grade year, going into my 11th grade year, I moved down to Tampa, Florida. And that's when I went to Wharton High School. Graduated from Wharton 2016. I mean, that's where I met you at, you feel me? So graduated 2016 and enrolled in USF a few weeks later that same year. And I've been here ever since.
What was it like growing up in North Carolina?
Cold. No, it was fun though. It was different because I lived in Florida for like the first 7-8 years of my life. So like just being around a bunch of Florida people, like that's what I was accustomed to. But moving up to North Carolina, like moving up to like the boonies, like there's not like, I would think like the county that I lived in, Rayford, Hope County, like there's only one high school, 2 middle schools, and only like 3 elementary schools. So like the town that I stayed in was really small. And I think just trying to get accustomed to that, trying to get accustomed to like having like a mom figure, you know, in my life that was constant. It was new for me, but North Carolina, it was fun. I'm glad that I was able, you know, to go through that part of my life.
For sure. So you basically a Florida boy. You a Florida boy and you from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. How did you start playing football?
I mean, I've been playing football since I was young. Like I said, like living here in Florida, the only thing you really can do, like football is the biggest sport here. So my mom put me in football. And I didn't really pick it up, you know, off the rip. But then that's when I moved my dad, and my dad started teaching me, you know, what to do, ins and outs, because me and him can relate that way. And so I started playing probably like 2nd, 3rd grade, like for real. And that's when I realized like I was actually pretty good. Like a real good player, I knew I was good enough to play at the level like I was playing at 2nd, 3rd grade. But I didn't really know like I could actually be really good until I'd probably say my like 11th grade year going into my senior year, honestly. Like when I moved down here, I wasn't really focused on like football as much. I was more focused on basketball because North Carolina, they big in basketball. So I think I really didn't like understand like I can be really good until 11th going into 12th grade year. 11th grade year, I felt the same. I had the same mindset. You know, I can play with the rest of them, but I wasn't really showing it. And then that's in 12th grade year, I had like a totally different mindset.
So you got to Wharton. What was it like when you first got there?
I was kind of nervous actually, because like living in North Carolina, you know, I have all my friends from elementary school up to high school. So I had all those like people around me, my best friends and stuff were up there, with people I consider my best friends, people I consider my family up there. And then moving down here, it was a lot different from the culture up there. So I felt like I really had to had to change like who I was. Not change what I wouldn't say change who I was, but change the way I acted. You know, I changed like who I hung out with, you know, how I looked at different things. So it was different, but I'm glad that we moved down to Florida because to be honest, it's a lot better than North Carolina in the shape that it's in.
For sure. When you got to Wharton, I remember when you first got to school, like I had been accustomed to seeing like Tate. Really, it was just everybody was talking about Tate early because he was like a wide receiver.
Clear, yeah.
And he was like one thing I noticed when Tate was there, I was a freshman, so like I just seen him like at school. He was just so big. Like I wasn't always like now I'm like 6'6", so like I'm kind of big now. Back then I was shorter, so like I would just see him from everywhere. It was just like, and then after he left, it was like you came, so it was like everybody already knew what the deal was. It was like, oh, this Tre Dukes, he from North Carolina, he played wide receiver, tight end, like he the next, yeah. So how we first met, we had a sociology class teacher named Mr. Harvey at Oregon. First day of class, the first assignment of the class, we got to class, we had to write this long paper introducing ourselves, and then we had to go in front of the class and read it to everybody. Everybody had to do it.
Man.
The first thing that Tre said, he said, "My name is Tre Dukes, and I'm not Auden Tate." he had to make that be known, because I know everybody like that was something for sure you had to deal with probably going to work, and like people was just
like bro, as soon as I got there and I met him, everybody was just like, "Oh my God, you guys are just alike." And it was like, I'm nothing like me personally. I feel like I'm nothing like him, you know, like Tate, he a cool dude and everything, you feel me? And like I still mess with him heavy, but it's just like I'm not him, you know. I'm my own person, you feel me? Like me and Tate, we do some things alike. I do see that, but to me, I think we do everything else totally different. But I mean, right now, look at him though. He in the league, so I mean, if that's not a person you still want to you want to look after, that's one person I'd probably say I still look after.
For sure. And I like when you said that. Shout out to Tate first off, but when you said that at class, I was like, as an athlete and as just a person, like I already knew it wasn't like you was just hating on him or something like that. But like he a high level receiver, high level player. You was a high level player, so you was just letting it be known that you wasn't him. You was your own person. That's important, I think.
You know what I mean? I can only be my own person.
What was it like playing at Wharton when you got there?
I'd probably say it was like playing football is probably more intense down here than it was up there in North Carolina. Down here, like, them boys, they get after it, man. I was just always, you feel me, like trying out. Well, I ain't really have to try out because like the coaches knew who I was. But here, like, I think I actually really had to like try out for the first time. So it was kind of weird. And then that's when I just saw how everybody was like, I felt like everybody was moving a lot faster than I was. You feel me? I was always like one step behind the curve. You feel me? Like I was holding my own, but everybody was always like a step ahead of me. So I'll probably say it was kind of hard at first playing football here. I didn't really hit my groove until senior year of what Florida football really is about. You know.
Florida football, I say, of course, I'm gonna say is the best in the country because I'm from here. But for sure, I say top 5 for sure. Top 3 probably for sure states.
Florida is the number 1 state when it comes to football. Florida and Texas. We're the only 2 that I can debate, but it has to be Florida. Everything different down here.
I always say Florida, Texas, and Cali, but I agree with what you said. But how you were saying you were a step behind and stuff like that, I kind of I see like football here is definitely different, but you had what it took to make it. Like you just had to figure it out. Talk to me about getting into your groove, like you said, your senior year, and what was that like? What was that like?
Well, I mean, like I said, I hung out with Tate, you know, quite a bit right before he left, before he went to Florida State. So like, just really talking to him each and every day. He was just like, bro, he was like, honestly, he was the main person I'd probably say that was supporting me, you know, from Wharton High School, because, you know, the coaching and everything, and I don't want to get into all that, but you know, that the coaching just wasn't the best there. So I'd probably say like he was probably one of the main people that even told me like, Tre, like you real deal you can do it. You feel me? Like he was like, you got the size. I had to work on the speed. He was just like, but you have the size. You feel me? You have the quickness. Like you have the IQ for the game. And he was just like, you really can get a scholarship and really don't have to worry about your parents, you know, paying for a dime. So, I mean, I thought about 11th grade year, but I wasn't like me personally, like school was not me, you know? So I never really thought about going to college and stuff like that. But once he told me that, I was just like, you know what? Like maybe I need to start, you know, not playing just for myself, you know, doing it for, you know, a bigger picture basically. So I'll probably say like at the end of that 11th grade, like end of my 11th grade season, that's when I actually started doing like 7-on-7. That's when I met Coach Grady. I met Mike Kemp. I met KJ Sells. I met like Jacob Mathis, like all those dudes in the Tampa Bay area. And they all great football players, and they all, you know, picking up offers and stuff. And that's when like just playing against them really helped me with, you know, my competition level, you know, of going against the best. So once I started like hanging around them and seeing the way they would, you know, had their mindset, seeing where they were going in life, I was just like, I want to be a part of that. So that's when I started doing 7-on-7 Team Tampa. What else? Oh, Impact Fitness. I always said I wanted to try to gain weight to help me out senior year because 11th grade year I had a bunch of, I was banged up, bruised and stuff like that real easy. And I was like, okay, you feel me? Like a bunch of high school corners that I'm going against and safeties, they all little. They all probably like 5'9", 5'10", you feel me? Like 160, 170. You feel me? I'm in my growth spurt. So I'm like 6'3" at the time, before I hit 6'4", and I'm like, I need to gain some weight. So I think around like January, February time frame, I started hitting Impact Fitness. Well, December actually. December I decided because it was before Christmas. That's what it was. Before Christmas, I told my dad, I was like, I want to try to gain some weight. He was like, all right, bet. So we'll work out. That's when I ran into Impact Fitness. Tate put me on Impact Fitness, and I think I went from like 180 to like 195 in a matter of like 3 or 4 months before spring ball. So like once I saw myself gain that weight and like how like guys would just like bounce off me basically, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, now I know it's like my turn to take over. Senior year, it's my last year. I got to do it right.
You already knew it was up because it was in you. It wasn't on
Oh,
you.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I think, like, that was crazy because I was just like, bro, I really want to gain weight. You feel me? But up there in North Carolina, we don't really have, like, an Impact Fitness. They don't have no 7-on-7 team. Like, so it was just here I had all the, like, the right resources, to help me, accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And I still talk to all the same dudes that I talked to in high school, Coach Denny, Coach Biko, all of them. When I was 17, 18, now 23, still talking to them, still going out to, work out with them and everything.
I think the biggest thing that you just said through all of that was just how you just decided to change the people you was hanging around. Like for people out there, you want to be great, you want to accomplish things, like you got to improve your circle. Talk to me about that.
I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head, just about changing around, like change the people that you're always been around. I had to change the people I was around in high school. That's why I said I played basketball hanging around you, Josiah, you feel me, Max, and all them. And and Evan too, you feel me? So hanging around y'all were always positive, you feel me? So yeah, y'all were always doing the right stuff. So I mean, if y'all doing the right stuff, you feel me, it's on me too to, do the right stuff. So I just wanted to make sure that I had the right people around me that was feeding me, the right energy. When I got to college, I'd probably say I didn't have the right people around me. I was trying to, follow what everybody else was doing instead of having my head on straight and becoming my own man.
So we just talked about what it took to get to your groove. So what was your final season like at Wharton, and what were you able to accomplish?
I was able to accomplish a lot, actually. Surprisingly, we had some goals at the beginning of the season that we wanted to accomplish, but we couldn't do it. We had some great ball players, I think, at Wharton. We went 8-2. We only lost to Plant and Sickles, and they were both in our district. So we weren't able to go to the playoffs, even with probably one of the best records in our division. But I'll probably say that was probably like the best high school team that I've probably ever been a part of. Freshman, sophomore year in North Carolina, we did really good, made playoffs and everything. But I didn't really have my hand in on those two teams. But I really contributed to that senior year team, when I think we had 16, 17 seniors that year. So I'll probably say that our 2016 class was probably the best team my senior year that I've ever been a part of.
For sure. I still remember just you talking about it. I remember because that hurt me almost, and I ain't even play football. I was like, these boys then went out here, they went crazy this year, and they just ran it. Plant is always just gonna be Plant, and then Sickles, that was Ray, right?
That was Ray wasn't there. He left the year before. They had Chris Oladokin.
Yeah, they still was solid. They still had they program going.
Hard on them, and they had a really good defense.
For sure. That was again, that was crazy. Just I really remember that because when I first got to school, we was like that football. We had we just talked about all the good players that you play with. Y'all was serious. So I remember that year y'all went 8-2 and y'all didn't make the play.
Shout out to class 2016, all the seniors. That was Gotti, that was Hayden, that was Migo, That was Bryce. That was, oh my God, we had a team, dog.
Y'all was loaded, no cap.
Yeah, bro. That was fun, man. That whole year was fun. Miles Williams, he was on that team. Feel me? We had Shannon, bro. We had a team. I really wish we would have made playoffs, man. Just with them, honestly.
So even though you didn't make the playoffs, you were able to accomplish a lot. You talked about how you came into your own as a player.
Mm-hmm.
When did you see your stock start to rise, and like who were some of the schools that was like the first to start reaching out to you?
I really saw my stock starting to rise. I'd probably say a little bit before like senior year started. Cause like I said, I'm doing 707 and all this other stuff over the summer. So coaches, they can come out and see you. So they saw me 707. I started picking up a few offers. I think I really didn't start getting hot until I committed to NC State. I mean, not NC State, I'm sorry, UCF. And then I got an offer from NC State like the next day. So those were like my first two offers that I got. And then I committed to UCF like a few months later. I was still talking to NC State, and all these other schools are like, okay, who is this guy? Who's Tre Dukes? So that's when like the letters started coming in. You know, coaches start calling me, following me, coming to the school to see me, like just trying to see like what type of person I am. So I mean that was pretty cool. I think I don't know how they heard about me, but they heard some good stuff, so they had to come and see me. And like I said, I didn't really see myself like doing some of the things that I could accomplish. So I'd probably say like I'll probably say the summer of senior year. Summer of senior year is when like I actually started taking off.
I don't want to get too far into it, but after you decommitted from UCF, I swore you was going to NC State, bro. Like people used to be asking me. They used to be like, bro, where you think Tre gonna go? Bro, NC State, bro. I think he's going to NC State. And then this man.
The thing about it is, I really thought I was going to NC State. I'm not going to cap to you. Like when I think the last major offer that I got was Miami. So once Miami called me, they said, yeah, we're going to offer you. I was like, whoa, hold on now. Hold on. Yeah, so I was just like, and plus like the U's always like been one of my favorite teams. So it was just like, dang, like they, of course, UCF, that's when they went like 0-12 that year. So I'm like, I don't really want to come to, a school, like look what the culture is, you feel me? Like they got a losing culture. Like I don't want to be a part of that. And USF, like I think like once they found out, I think they offered me like 2 days after Miami had offered me. So it was just like NC State, I had already been talking to them for like 8-9 months at the time. And they stayed like with me, calling me each and every week, making sure I'm okay, asking me to come on visit. So like I felt like at the time, like 18 years old, thinking like, whoever's showing it that they want me the most, that's who I'm gonna go with. You feel me? So it was Marshall, they showed me a ton of love, NC State, Miami, USF, and I think that's about it. Because after I decommitted from UCF, I didn't really hear from him like that until Scott Frost got hired. And that's when I heard from him like one more time. Then after that, I didn't really hear from nobody.
What would be the best advice you would give to somebody that's going through the recruiting process?
The best advice I can probably give a young recruit would just keep your options open, and honestly, listen to your people. Like listen to your parents, like, or any like kind of elderly, figure that you have in your life, uncle, aunt, grandma that you stay with, because honestly, like that wisdom that they giving you, like you need all of it. So like my parents, they were telling me, they told me to take my time with the whole recruiting process, but me thinking on my own, I want to go to UCL. That's where I want to go. And my dad, it's crazy because my dad was the first person that told me, Tre, you sure you want to do that? He was like, Tre, I feel like you're not going to go there. And sure enough, a few months later, I decommitted. So he never been the type to tell me like, I told you so, but he was the one to be like, hey, take your time with it. So the advice that I would give to any young recruit right now is just to take your time with it, enjoy yourself, and don't pick a school for the coaches. Pick a school that you love, that you truly love. Don't, because anything can happen. College is a business. all 4, 5, 6 years that you're gonna be there, college is a business. So make sure you don't pick a school for all the wrong reasons. You want to pick, for something that you feel in your heart.
For sure. A lot of people don't understand that until they start getting higher up in the levels. Like your sport it's still your sport, but it's a business for sure.
It's a business. The coach is getting paid. You're not producing, that coach can't go home and feed his family because he just got fired. You feel me?
Scholarship it's not a 4-year scholarship.
Nope. That is the thing about that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like they think, oh, I got my scholarship. I signed my like each semester you sign in a new scholarship. So after the fall break, after the fall is up, you gotta sign a new scholarship for the spring, because that coach can easily say, well, I don't think I want to bring you back, or I don't think this is gonna work out. You feel me? Or you're not academically, ineligible. So, hey, you sign in the scholarship every semester that you hear, basically, or every year.
What was it like getting to USF?
It was fun. It was kind of rocky at first, because just dealing with, not having so much free time to now having plenty of time in the day to honestly do whatever I wanted. Well, not whatever I wanted, because we still had practice, workouts, film, and everything else. But so now it's like we used to practice in the morning, and then in the morning, like, we used to have film, workouts and stuff like that. And I used to get home, like, from class and stuff. I probably get home like around 3. So like from 3:30 to like whatever time, like, I don't really have anything to do. So it was kind of hard trying to manage that time. Like, I used to go hang out. I used to like go play video games or something. Like, I wasn't even thinking about schoolwork, honestly. I ain't gonna cap to you. And when I first got to college, man, I'm gonna take care of the work when the teacher told me to take care of the work. Other than that, when I leave this classroom, I'm not touching no work. So like but now I'm just telling you, that's the mindset I had when I first came in at 18. So it was just, I had to really, like, over the years, I really had to teach myself, like, just to stay disciplined on all the little things, just get my work done early so I can go hang out.
Yeah. Everybody that's watching, y'all hear every time we bring up college, that's the main thing. Time management comes up somehow, some way. Time management is the biggest thing you could have. It go hand in hand with discipline, like Tre just said, with all that kind of stuff. So if you don't know how to manage your time, college
it's gonna eat you up. If you don't know how to manage your time, it's gonna eat you up.
But also don't let that discourage you though. Like, if you can, once you get to college, I'm telling you, once you get to college, you realize what all you have to do, what you're responsible for every day. Once you get in your routine, it just gets a lot easier.
A lot easier, because you're taking care of what needs to be done.
Has being in college helped you grow over the years?
Oh yeah, of course. Just learning a lot of like life lessons, especially like what I've been through. You learn a lot of life lessons. You meet a lot of good people. One of the main things that they tell you in college too is networking. Just like they say time management is important, hey, so is networking. So whoever you meet, you may bump into, somebody that, that don't really talk much in class, just have a conversation with them, because you never know, that person like could easily, in a few years own a business, and you're looking for a job, and they say, hey, you know what, I remember you, I remember you used to, talk to me when nobody else did in college. Hey, let me offer you this job. Let me, coming out of college, you feel me? Let me offer you, $60,000 right out of college, $70,000 starting right after college. Well, only a bachelor's, So it's just like, I've actually heard like too many stories. I actually know too many stories of people, after college, needing a job, or, they working with a friend that they met from like a sorority or fraternity, or, from teammates to classmates. So I'd probably say like, that's just the main thing, really, just networking. You got to network.
Along with networking, I think, me personally, I just believe in just being a good person, just doing right by people, because I feel like if you do right by people, you're a good person, you're polite to people, you treat people right, everything will just go full circle. Like, everything will just work out for you.
Yeah, and that's true. And that's real.
So overall, what has your experience been like at USF?
Overall, it's been fun. I had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of rocky moments. Even thought about stop playing football at one point, and just going to straight school. That was the year I got suspended, and I was suspended like the whole season. Almost got kicked off the team, like just off of just doing stupid stuff. So I'll probably say it's a lot of ups and downs. You really have to like try to find yourself like within these years, because there's going to be some times where you're just like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. There's going to be times where you're real high and you're just like, I can do this. So there's a lot of ups and downs. But now I'm finally starting to, come into myself. I believed in myself from freshman year, even when a lot of people told me to stop. And that's just not even like just football. And like even with school, I didn't really believe in myself in graduating. I always wrote it down as a goal of mine because I knew it would make me a better person. I knew it like for my family and 10 plus years. Like I know it'll benefit not only me but my family. So I really had to try to find myself and really understand like who am I, and who am I going to be. So yeah, I probably say it's just a lot of ups and downs, but I'm grateful for everything that God has brought me through. And now, to be honest, on my senior year in college, I'm on the up. Finally starting. Finally starting to get like a lot of playing time that I think I should have been had, but it's not up to me. It's all God's timing. And now being able to say like I'm an NFL, draft prospect, and teams are actually looking at me like that's pretty cool. I always dreamed about it. I wanted it. I prayed for it, and now it's finally here.
What was it like just staying down, like knowing that you had the talent, you felt like you could do it, but just now, like this year, cracking the starting rotation, like what is it like just going through that and just continue to stay at it, even though you're not getting the results and seeing the playing time that
It's
you want?
tough. This shit's so tough. Like I don't know. Like I said, when I got suspended my sophomore year, I got suspended the first 8 games. Came back, tried to do all the right things. Got suspended again. So like that whole year, I think I only played 3-4 games out of 13. So that really, like during that time frame of not being with my teammates, guys that I call my friends, my brothers, not being able to, to be with them, just really I've been by myself. I really had a lot of time to think. And that's when the time frame I was just like, I think I'm done with football. I called my dad, called my mom, talked to them, and they told me, stick it out. And then next year, bouncing back, having a pretty good season, but still not, getting the recognition, that I wanted, and not having that confidence and not playing with that swagger like I did, like when I first got here and everything, or like in high school leading up to here. And then now this year, just like during quarantine, like just telling myself like I'm working out probably like 3-4 times a day over quarantine just to keep myself busy, and just like saying like for the day like we come back to practice, I want to be able to take over. And that's exactly what I did when fall camp came around. They had me like, I think they had me number 2 or number 3 on the depth chart, and I ended up being their top guy at the end of it in a matter of like 2 weeks of camp. So you just got to stay down, bro, until you come up. Really, that's about it. That's all I can say. You got to stick it tough.
That's a perfect example of hard work meeting opportunity, and you're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, bro.
You kind of just touched on it, but what is it like seeing your name in like NFL draft talks and being a potential NFL draft prospect?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I always, seen guys come and go at USF, like with scouts coming in and out, coming and watching and stuff like that. And I always told myself, I was like, I want one of those scouts to come see me. And I remember saying that when I was a freshman. So now that, they can't come out and see us because of COVID, but, they call it, hey, what about this guy? Hey, what about this guy? I'm on people's, boards and stuff like that. And, I'm coming across their screen, I'm coming across their mind. And to me, like, that excites me, man, for like what the future can hold. Not only after, this year, but, leading up to the draft and whatnot.
I just think that's a blessing, bro, because like you came from like humble beginnings, and now you've been able to play this. First, you've been healthy enough to play, make it this far. It's not easy to even make it this far playing this long at a high level like this. So I'm just like from the outside looking in, I definitely like it's definitely inspirational just seeing somebody that I know I've seen you grow as a person, as a player. Like it's definitely motivational. I'm like happy for you for sure.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
So now we're gonna do the speed round just to wrap things up.
All right.
What's your favorite thing to do in your free time?
Favorite thing doing video games. Call of Duty. Gotta play Call of Duty. Or I hang out with my girl or my dog, really.
What's your go-to meal?
Go-to meal. Oh, my go-to meal. My girl, she make this red pasta sauce. Oh man. No, pink. I'm sorry, not red. It's pink. I apologize. It's pink. She make this pink pasta sauce. I don't know what she put in it. I don't care what she put in it. She do some pink sauce with some shrimp. Oh man.
The secret sauce.
I pick that meal 4 days out of the week, man.
The secret sauce. Who are your top 5 rappers out right now?
Top 5? Oof. Top 5. I'll probably say Dirt, Baby. Dirt. Gotta put Dirk on there. I listen to Dirk. Oh, Vaughn. I listen to King Vaughn a lot too. Who else? I'll probably listen to Herb. And that's about it.
What's your major at USF?
Oh, I got my degree in mass communications. Now I'm doing a second degree in interdisciplinary sciences.
Yes, sir. What do you plan on doing after football?
After football, after I retired from the NFL and everything, I said I always wanted to be a sports broadcaster because I want to, I've always been around sports my whole life. So I want to continue, to open up doors for myself using sports. So I feel like I can be a good person, on camera, in front of the screen, talking about football, soccer, basketball, no matter what it is. So that's mainly what I want to do. That's why I did the sports the mentoring program at USF my senior year, and I met with Miss Catherine Smith. She's a real cool lady. She's a sports anchor at Tampa Bay News 9. So I had a good time with her over the last 6 months.
Networking. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
The best advice that I ever received. I'll probably say the best advice. You got to be quick to listen, but slow to speak. You got to listen. You got to listen to what they're saying. You feel me? You can't always have a response for everything,
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, y'all.
Exactly.
If you could spend the day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
The first person that comes to my mind is my uncle. He passed away a few years ago. Actually, when I moved down here in 2014, he passed away, and I miss him so much. So he'll be the first person that I pick over everybody to hang out with, if I can have him back. Second person, I'll probably say LeBron James. He the GOAT. 4 rings. The third person, I don't know. I can't really pick nobody on the third one, but it must definitely be my uncle and LeBron James.
What advice would you give your 10-year-old self?
10-year-old self? Pick your circle wisely and listen to your mom and your daddy. And stay in your Bible. That's it. Stay in your Bible. Listen to your people. Make better choices with the people you hang out with.
Well, Tre Dukes, that's about it for the show. I just want to say again, thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate you supporting, giving me a piece of your time. And
no problem, bro.
Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Instagram, Tre Dukes. That's probably, I deleted my Twitter, so I only got Instagram. That's about it.
Tre Dukes, USF football. Tre, thank you again. I appreciate it. And we're going to see y'all on the next episode.
God bless.
Yes, sir.